take that inquiry.
Speaker.
I call the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Mr. Speaker, over a matter of a few days, it's become crystal clear to New Zealand First and the people of this country that this is a government of National Party people, by National Party people, for National Party people. And the Privacy Commissioner conducting a review will not get at the facts because this is long gone past a matter of privacy or confidentiality. An unseemly controversy has exploded into the light of day with all the usual National Party suspects, Nick Smith, John Key and Michelle Bogue. Always Michelle Bogue. The former president put on all sorts of government-appointed jobs, Broadcasting Commission, you name the whole lot, and low me down, who comes the confidant at court to help this woman? It is Michelle Bogue. There they are with their fingerprints, their footprints, their DNA all over it. And there's the victim, by some strange coincidence, a National Party activist and apparatchik, Bronwyn Puller, who tried to get some kind of deal from ACC. All of a sudden, they have a marvellous memory on the part of Michelle Bogue as to what was not said. But not much has been told to us about what was said at the meeting, just what wasn't said. And that has got a ring to it, if you're conducting any sort of investigative work, that there's something amiss here. And Nick Smith, wrote a letter of support for the victim to ACC. I wonder how many other ACC people have written to him over the years when he was minister, asking him to do something about what they would think was their plight, unfairly treated by this outfit called ACC. Now, you might say, well, what is wrong with that? And the answer is nothing if you're a member of Parliament or a local body councillor or a lawyer or somebody who's a social worker. But what is wrong is that he was the minister of ACC. And is Mr. Key showing any attention to how serious this is? No. Oh, no. One rule for the rest of the politicians in this House, and a different rule for the so-called noblesse oblige, although they haven't got any characteristics of nobility. One rule for the noblesse oblige, and a different rule for everybody else. They think themselves a special class above the law and above ordinary scrutiny. Now, this means that the Minister of ACC leaned on ACC to push the case of another National Party member to get some payments. And just in case that wasn't enough, they pulled out the president of the National Party, the former one, just to give it a run and see what greater pressure they could exert as well. It's disgusting, but it's typical. Who knows? There may have been some merit in the case of Miss Puller, but it was not Nick Smith's place to push this case. He's been around a long time. You can tell that by looking at him. He didn't arrive here yesterday. Well, we all know that. We all know that. I mean, what a rapier-like whip that man from Epsom has got. What a rapier-like whip. Now, I might have been around here longer than Nick Smith, but it doesn't look like it, does it? Not when you look at Nick. Now, here's the point. There may have been some merit in Miss Buller's case, but it was not Nick Smith's place to push her issue. It was a distinct conflict of interest. It was a case of a National Party cabinet minister doing a favour for a member and a formerly highly placed member of his own political party. But that's got a ring about it, hasn't it? The cronyism, the sleaze, the jobs for the boys and the girls, every appointment, line your own people up, position them. It was a case of a National Party minister doing a favour for a member of his own political party. For this, he should have been sacked immediately from cabinet when it was known by Mr. Key that he had done that. And it's no use coming along and say I made a serious error of judgment. Where's the accountability? Where's the ministerial responsibility? If it's on that basis, half the cabinet would be gone tomorrow, because they're making serious errors of judgment every day. They're too inexperienced. Look at them. Only been here 5 minutes, and by some raffle, they've got themselves a cabinet post. Now, I know there are far more capable guys in the backbench, but apparently they have not been browning enough for the guys at the top. I know there's more capable guys in the back here, but they have not been chosen because they're not all total yes men. Like the one who's hiding behind that white paper over there right now. It was a distinct conflict of interest. Doing a favour for one of his mates in his party. Mr. Smith should be sacked. Now that detail is out, and that is not going to be what the Privacy Commissioner is charged with finding. Because it's not a privacy matter now. It's a separate political matter of a grave breach of the Cabinet Manual. He should be gone. And that's the fact of this matter here now. But the plot thickens. It turns out John Key, the Prime Minister, knew the National Party activist. Not once, on one occasion had he talked to her, but a number of times apparently. And so did the former National Party President, Michelle Bogue. So this is the case. July 2011, Nick Smith wrote a reference letter for Bronwyn Puller, former National Party official, whilst he was Minister of ACC. But here's the real point. He was saying that a critical aspect of ACC's judgment must have been wrong because, in his opinion, although he's not a medical doctor, she was in every way sound and fit before the accident. That there was no other cause for her current condition other than the accident. He was putting his reputation on the line as Dr. Smith on ministerial letterhead, just to make sure that people didn't think there's a lot of Dr. Smiths around in this country. They wanted to make sure they got the real Dr. Smith, the head of the ACC. Now, this letter was used to support Mrs. Puller's case for ACC compensation after a cycling accident. December 2011, Ms. Puller held a meeting with ACC at which her friend, former National Party President Michelle Bogue, was her support person. Amazing that, isn't it? You know, you wouldn't go to your local town and get a lawyer. Someone qualified, of course. A lawyer. No. You get the former National Party apparatchik and President Michelle Bogue, the well-known social worker who trucked into this Parliament two leaders, first Don Brash and then John Key from overseas, to depose a guy called Neeson or backstab him in the west of Auckland electorate and get the job in the first place. Michelle organised that. So she's no bit player. Oh no. She's the person behind the whole scheme in the first place. And by the way, Ms. Puller was accidentally sent information about 6,700 other ACC claimants. Well, that is a privacy matter, but it's gone a long way beyond that. And we don't want to have another snow job from the National Party. Another snow job from the National Party where you can say, well, this commissioner who was charged with the limited terms of reference has made this decision about confidentiality, but no one addresses the question of the propriety of Dr. Smith, the Honourable Nick Smith, being involved. And that data which was leaked included, identified making some as making sensitive claims for injuries resulting from rape or other forms of sexual assault. So there it is. A scandal from within the government, caused by the government, that holds itself up as cleaner than the driven snow. Always cleaner than driven snow. All their mates downtown in the commercial market know it's not true, of course, but they always pose as being that. It's a shabby little case involving blackmail, sex, a minister with a conflict of interest, and he should go now.
Chris Hipkins.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.